First, I want to start off with something a little messed up. If you guys have not heard about this, this is pretty jacked up. It is a story of police brutality in Alabama. Let's turn on our laptop here. Video shows Alabama police officer using stun gun against handcuffed man. I actually went and tracked down the video here, but what basically happened is police brutality in Alabama, where this particular woman who basically seemed to take pleasure in causing pain to this poor black guy. Her name was, I think it's right here. Here it is. So this is from, actually, this guy on X, on Twitter, is kind of a racist piece of crap himself, named Amiri King. Kind of an asshole. But at least he found the video for us. At first I couldn't tell if this is real or not. An Alabama sheriff's deputy, Dana Elmore, tases a man identified as Micah Washington in Pickens County. Washington was allegedly replacing his girlfriend's blown-out tire whenever he was approached by Deputy Elmore for acting suspicious. Whenever he was approached? That's what it says, right? Replacing his girlfriend's blown-out tire whenever he was okay. I guess he just must have had autocorrect on or something. The incident was captured on a mobile phone by one of Washington's passengers. The Pickens County Sheriff Office released a statement verifying Washington is in custody. He is being held on charges of drug trafficking, marijuana possession, possession of a firearm as a felon, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental operations. That cop, though. Okay, well, this is only 40 seconds long, so here's the actual video. Kind of messed up here, so beware. This is not a nice video.
Right there in front of the car.
Dragging him over. Okay, guy's sitting there.
Stay.
I ain't doing shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, God.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, tasing a handcuffed man who was not a danger to anyone or anything, was not resisting arrest. He did the huge, giant crime of talking, is what he did. He talked and told the police officer, I have a gun. That is what you're supposed to do, right? When you get pulled over by a cop and you have a weapon on you, and the cop handcuffs you, are you not supposed to tell them, hey, there's a gun right here? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? So that they can take the gun away and, you know, there won't be any problem. So why did she tase the guy? Because he lifted his head up slightly? Is that what happened? Like, let's watch it, but without the sound, okay? Right around here, he lifts his head up ever so slightly. So he's got his head down. Hands are handcuffed back here. Head is down on the hood of his car. Right? He's not struggling. He's not doing anything. She takes the gun out. What does he do? He just sort of like turns his head that way. Is that threatening? What is he going to do? What? Is he going to grab the gun with his tongue? Like grab it with his teeth and then like fire it with his nose and shit? Is that what he's going to do? Why did she tase this guy? And then you listen to her do it. She goes, oh yeah. As soon as she finds the gun, as soon as the guy admits that he has the gun, listen to what she says.
Right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you...
Why did she laugh? She just laughed. Oh yeah. What did she laugh for? Right?
saying, oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not... Oh.
And then she starts tasing him. Right after that, when all the guy was doing, look, right there, he's just looking in that direction. How the fuck is this justified? Okay. Now, of course, Dana Elmore here has been suspended which is what they do. They suspend you with pay, is what they do when you're a cop and you accidentally, like, tase somebody who's handcuffed to and is not a danger to anybody, or if you just accidentally blow somebody away or shoot them 17 times in the back or something like that. Whenever you're a police officer and you, like, really fuck somebody's life up or kill them, you always get suspended with pay. Why are you suspended with pay? It's because of the union. It's basically so when you get found innocent, you get all of your back pay. That's why. Because this is the rationale behind it. Well, if it turns out that the guy is innocent, then we want to make sure that they don't lose any pay. So you basically get a vacation. You get to go home and you get to be paid to not do anything and just, like, I guess, think about what you did that was so bad. How can anybody see this shit and support the police? See, every time this kind of thing happens, every time a cop does something wrong like this, something blatantly, inexcusably wrong like this, there's always some bootlicking sycophant that comes out of the fucking woodwork and defends them. Why? How could you defend this? I mean, how can you defend tasing someone who's not doing anything? And then afterwards, she's like, you want it again? You want it again? Like, now, correct me if I'm wrong. The police are not there to punish you. Am I wrong about that? The police are not there to punish you. They're not there to lecture you. They're not there to enact any kind of sentence upon you. They're there to detain you, arrest you, and bring you in safely if possible, hopefully. Bring you in without killing you or anybody else or blowing you away or something like that, so that you can have a trial in front of a jury of your peers. Isn't that what the police are there for? To protect and serve? I mean, we all know that the police are really there just to protect capital, that they're not actually there to protect people, and they don't actually give a fuck about people. But, you know, the lie that we tell ourselves as a nation is that they're supposed to be there to protect the public, and they're not supposed to just blow people away for no fucking reason. Isn't that right? So why did she do that? Why did she say, oh, you want it again? After that. After the guy cried for the crime of lifting his fucking head up. She probably would have shocked his ass if he just didn't even say anything. She probably just would have done it anyway. She was, like, ready, waiting for any fucking excuse. I mean, what's the guy gonna do? Like, bludgeon her to death with his chin? He's fucking handcuffed. I mean, I guess he could try running away. She'd probably shoot his ass if he tried to run away. So how can anybody defend this? Well, people are defending it. In fact, the reason why I chose this particular Twitter user is because his very next post is this. Another bag of weed off the streets, another Second Amendment violation. Thank you for your service. He's thanking the cop. This guy that posted this, right up here where he said, that cop though, oh, he's got that sort of cringy looking smiley face. Turns out that just wasn't enough. No, he's happy. He's glad that this happened, that this poor guy got tased. You know, when they say tasers and stuff, they're not exactly non-lethal. They're classified as less than lethal weapons. Things like tasers, things like rubber bullets, things like tear gas, stuff like that. Less than lethal. What does that mean? That means that they don't kill you 100% of the time, but you can still very much die from a taser. Especially when you're being tased right in your spine like that. I mean, what if that guy had a heart condition? You know, you can die from that shit. Electric shocks can fuck you up. It wasn't necessary. The guy was cooperating. And he even just said, hey, I'm not doing anything. In so many words, I'm not doing anything. I got a gun right here. Let's listen to him again. Let's listen to what he says one more time. Okay. One more time.
Stay still.
I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Say that? I'm not doing shit. I got a gun right there. She finds the gun. Oh, yeah. Right?
Got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, we just saying, oh, yeah.
See, she's happy. And see, he could tell some shit's about to happen. From her tone of her voice. It's like, what are you saying that for? Zap. It's It's unfucking fathomable. And here's the thing about this, right? This is just a tiny little story you'll get in the news. And by this time next week, everyone will have forgotten all about this. And there's a 99% chance that the Alabama fucking sheriff department or whatever the fuck this lady belongs to is going to do a quote-unquote investigation. And they're going to find that she was justified. And then they'll just make up some bullshit rationalization. Oh, she was justified. The man was being threatening. His tone of voice led her to be afraid for her life. And that's why she had to zap the fuck out of him and almost kill him. And then say, do you want it again? Like afterwards. Like she's fucking admonishing a dog. That's what it sounds like to me. Like when you spank a small child. And then they're crying. And then they don't stop crying. And you go, you want me to spank you again? And then the kid shuts up because he's afraid you're going to fucking hurt him. That's what this lady's doing. That's what this woman with her gigantic fucking forehead is doing. Let's read a little bit about her. Here's the article from ABC News that I was just looking at. Video shows white female police officer shocking a black man after placing him in handcuffs and leaning against the car. 45-second video clip, which went... You notice here that they don't tell her name. Because, you know, they're reporters and shit, and they're afraid that, oh no, people might... like, I don't know, say bad things about her on social media. I don't give a fuck about that. I actually tried finding her social media, and it's like she made it all private anyway. So, oh well. You know, I guess people have learned now that when you fuck up and you're like someone important, like a police officer or something, and the shit goes viral, that you have to batten down the hatches and like make all of your shit private before people figure out who you are exactly. Seriously, now I'm the last person to say, oh yeah, we should, you know, get like fucking internet justice going on somebody. But this is not just a random person. This is not just some Karen in the fucking parking lot mad because somebody stole her parking space. Or because somebody bought the last PS5. Or because like a guy is like, I don't know, a bird watcher or something scared her. This is not just something like that. This isn't just some lady getting pissed off at a Starbucks. Or whatever, or just being racist or something like that. No, it's a police officer. Police officer who had a gun, right? She's got a taser gun on this dude's spine. Holding it up, like contact, up against him and shit. She could kill him at any given moment. If he, God forbid, the guy actually did try to struggle, she'd probably blow him the fuck away and would just get away with it completely. Oh, well, he was struggling. So no, I got no sympathy. It's like, fuck her. I don't care. But no, they didn't they didn't say what her name is. And yeah, you probably shouldn't go and harass people on the internet. That's bad. I don't know. All I'm saying, I think we're in the public interest of knowing. It is within the public interest, I guess is the way that I should say it, that we should know who this woman is and we should know what her history is. At least I think so. But anyway, let's read a little more. In the 45-second video clip, which went viral, the handcuffed man is not resisting and tells the officer he has a gun on him. She retrieves it and places it on the hood of the car, saying, oh yeah. He asks her what he's saying oh yeah for. Then she appears to shock him with a stun gun pressed to his back and tells him to be quiet. That's not what... No, she said, shut the fuck up, is what she said. Okay. I don't know why. I mean, you have the video right there, man. ABC News, like... Why are they going soft on this? But it tells him to be quiet. No. What you should have said is shut the F up is what they should have wrote there, right? Oh my God, he cries out and continues to bellow. You want it again. You was big and bad, she says before using profanity to tell him to shut up. Why not just write it out? Write it out. See, you know why they have it like that and shit? Because it makes her look less insane. That's why they wrote it like that. If any of you guys are ever wondering about bias in media, there's a perfect fucking example of it right here. Because you see it every time a cop blows someone away. Every time a cop does something wrong. This is how this like milquetoast, like weak sauce way of covering the story is what every single news outlet does. All of them. Every single one. Not just the conservative ones like Fox and OAN and all that other shit. This is ABC, for fuck's sake. You see how they're covering it? It almost makes it sound like it's justified, doesn't it? They say his name Friends and family said the man, identified as 24-year-old Micah Washington, was changing a tire on the side of the road with others when the officer approached him. How come they said his fucking name and not hers? Right? I mean, aren't they afraid that people might track him down, that they might fucking harass him, that he might end up getting his reputation destroyed? He might end up losing his job? Aren't they afraid about that shit? Of course not. Said that he was just replacing a tire when the officer approached him. That's the story. He was replacing a tire for his girlfriend's car. And then the cop comes over, and I could see that happening. Cop pulls over, right? You see someone on the side of the road, they need assistance. How it led from one thing to another, who knows? I don't know. Maybe the guy has a warrant, whatever. We don't know, because the article doesn't actually say that. Very convenient of them not to say that. I mean, if they could, maybe, did he attack her? Or something? Is that why he was in cuffs? Like, how does one end up in handcuffs? Right? When you're changing a tire on the side of the road and a cop comes up. I mean, aren't the police supposed to help you when you need assistance on the side of the road like that? Isn't the cop supposed to pull over and be like, oh, do you want me to call a tow truck for you or something like that? Isn't that what they're supposed to fucking do? Maybe they don't do that in Alabama when you're a black person. Maybe you just, when you get a flat tire in Alabama, you just take your fucking life in your hands because a cop might show up and tase you to death. Well, this particular police officer here, her name is Dana Elmore again, was actually commended last year. Apparently she saved a little child's life with CPR. That's funny. I'm surprised they don't actually say that here in this article, because usually they do everything they can to make the police officer look as good as possible. Pretty fucked up. Court records show the investigators signed a complaint charging Washington and another man with trafficking fentanyl, but state prosecutors dropped the charge Monday after further testing showed the substance was not fentanyl. They were also charged with resisting arrest, interference with a government operation, and marijuana possession. Resisting arrest. You saw the resisting arrest that the guy did? He lifted his fucking head. That's a bullshit charge. Yeah, resisting arrest is turning around and saying, hey, what are you saying oh yeah for? All right. Yeah, that really looked like resisting fucking arrest. Okay. Interference with a government operation. That's a bullshit charge. Marijuana possession. Pfft, please. In pretty much every state in this country, marijuana has been decriminalized in one sense, in one way or another. In every state, in Alabama, I believe, it is medical marijuana is legal. So, if anything, this guy was just guilty of not having his medical card on him. Let's turn this fucking bullshit off. Turn this fucking ridiculous shit off. If anything, I mean, that's a bullshit charge. You shouldn't be going to jail for marijuana anyway. You shouldn't. But I'm a firm believer that if something like that is illegal, and then less than, a few states over, totally not illegal, you shouldn't be going to jail for that. You should get a fine at most is what should happen, right? Because it's bullshit. It's like, how come I go to prison for this thing that if I just lived 100 miles that way, it's perfectly fucking legal? I mean, is it something seriously crazy wrong and despicable? I don't know, cockfighting or something like that, or pit bull fucking fighting or something that involves cruelty to animals or cruelty to children or something? Is it like that, or is it just a harmless substance that any adult should be allowed to enjoy and that you can enjoy in most of the states in this country? I don't know what it is about the South and why it's so fucked up still when it comes to marijuana, but I suspect it has something to do with racism. So, yeah, folks, completely fucked up. Want to say one last thing before we end this thing, is that, before we end this little segment, is that nothing is probably going to happen to this woman. Why did this woman think that she could do this and get away with it? Why? I mean, because, okay, tasing someone who's handcuffed, who's no threat to you at all, and even there's somebody taking a video of it. I'm sure she saw the guy there with the phone recording the entire thing. So why did she do it? I mean, this woman seemed like happy as a clam in order to just have an opportunity to hurt somebody, is what it looked like to me. Like, as soon as she saw the gun, she's like, oh yeah, you're going away for a long time. Zap, zap, zap. Why did she do it? Because she knew that absolutely nothing was going to happen to her. She knew that she could do whatever the hell she wanted. She could zap this guy with a taser. She could beat the shit out of him with her nightstick. She could probably blow him away if he tried to do anything, if he tried to get away, if he tried to struggle. At the slightest little bit, she could probably just shoot him in the back of the head. And she knows that absolutely nothing bad was going to happen to her. She knows that there's absolutely nothing, that she won't be arrested, she won't be thrown in jail, she probably won't even lose her job at all. I mean, I guess as long as it's like not something completely blatant. I mean, as long as she doesn't stick her gun in his mouth and blow his fucking head off or something like that. I don't know, maybe even then. Why? Because that's what we do for police in this country. If you're a cop, you're allowed to just kill people. That's what it is. It happens all the time. And even in those cases where the police officer is actually held accountable, how many of those can you name? How many times does that happen? Like, barely ever. And when it does happen, it's a giant fucking deal. Derek Chauvin. That's like it. That's like the only one. I mean, and out of the dozens and dozens and hundreds of unjustified police shootings that have come to light over just the last 5 to 10 years. And that's the thing, is that whenever you hear something about this, you know, oh, cop shows up, blows away a 12-year-old kid within 2 seconds or something like that. You know that is happening all around the country multiple times a year, and we just don't hear about it. We don't hear about it. We know that there's many police shootings. In fact, it's like, because it's not a requirement to actually report them. I don't know if you guys knew that. The police in most places in this country, there's no law. There's no federal law that says, you know, you have to report this to the CDC or the FBI or whatever. No, they don't have to. They just do it, I mean, out of the kindness of their own fucking hearts. And if they have data that makes them look bad, they just don't pass that along. That we know that's shit that happens too in like practically every fucking state. And how many instances are there of police brutality that it doesn't result in a fatality? It's something like this. Thankfully, this guy survived. Thankfully, he didn't have a heart condition or something like that, and he didn't like die, you know, because of this tase. He didn't have a heart attack. He didn't whatever. Right? It didn't stop his breathing. That can happen too, you know. If you get tased, it can like stop your breathing and just basically, because of the shock, can fucking kill you, right? That this potentially can happen. I mean, thankfully that didn't happen to him, and he's probably going to be okay. I mean, just looking at the bullshit charges they charge this guy, he's going to get off. I mean, 10 to 1, he'll probably get off, but who knows? I mean, these are very common charges for lots of black people in the South. Charging him with being a drug dealer because he has over a certain amount of marijuana, even though marijuana is legal for medical purposes in this state. It's backwards fucking horseshit. Resisting arrest. Yeah, okay. He's probably going to get off. Hopefully. If he has a decent lawyer, he'll get off. But who knows? Maybe he won't. Right? But how many times, my point is, though, how many times does this happen and we just don't hear about it? How many times do cops beat the shit out of somebody? Or tase them? Or fucking, like, you know, punch them in the face multiple fucking times and just get away with it? Just get away with it completely. How many times do cops just pull over a guy that's not doing anything, just walking home by himself, whatever, and then the cop just gets super fucking violent, breaks somebody's arm, handcuffs him to a door and slams his head inside of the fucking door, like, and nothing fucking happens to them, and they just get away with it completely? How many times does that happen? We'll never actually know. That's the kind of country we live in. We live in a country where police can do whatever the fuck they want. Whatever they want. And get away with it. And if you're not a person of means, if you're not rich and you can't afford a decent lawyer, then you're not going to be able to do shit about it. Most people won't be able, not only will they not do anything because of like fear of like, reprisal, but they can't afford to do anything, right? There's no justice for you if you're a poor person in this country. If you can't afford a lawyer, then you're not going to court. You think you can take on like the police department in your town with like a court-appointed lawyer? Fuck no. You're screwed. They know you're screwed. It's bullshit, folks. And then you wonder why everybody hates cops. Then you wonder why you hear all cops are bastards. Right? Why people say shit like that. All cops are bastards. I find myself saying it sometimes too. Then you wonder why cities explode and people go fucking nuts and they go in giant fucking rampage riots and shit from time to time. You wonder why things like in 2020, Black Lives Matter. And how there were, I mean, there's the thing, right? 97% of all of those protests were peaceful. The 3% that weren't were pretty bad. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves, folks. There were actual riots there. There were riots, people burning shit down, stuff like that. People got hurt, right? Why do you think people did that? Because they're sick and tired of like this class of people that are allowed to just beat them and assault them and murder them with complete fucking impunity anytime they fucking feel like, and just get away with it. What was that story? There was a story not that long ago where it was a police union guy, like a guy that worked for the police union, and they got like audio of this guy talking on the phone, and they were talking about a woman who got ran over by a cop. And then the dude just laughs about it. This is like the police union guy just laughs about it. And he's like, oh, she's only, just pay him $20,000. That's all she's worth, or something like that. These are the people that we're supposed to be protecting us. We give them a monopoly on violence with the idea that they're supposed to protect us. That when you call them, they're supposed to show up. They're supposed to fucking help you, right? You're not supposed to be afraid of the police. Can you ever really name a time when you weren't afraid of the police? Can you ever really? My dad's a police officer. He was racist as hell. He at least was a straight shooter, from what I understand. He actually worked in, what do you call it, internal affairs. And he told me that he did a job for them and then they ordered him to like report to internal affairs. And I guess that's what happens when you do too good of a job. So that was what my dad did at the end of his career. He was a cop that actually policed other cops. Okay. So no, I mean, even me though, with a police officer in my family, even me as a teenager or whatever, still afraid of cops. You learn very quickly growing up in a city that the cops are not there to help you. They're not there to help you. They're not there to help you at all. They're there for what are they even fucking there for? Because they don't help you. When you need help, they don't help you, right? Your car gets ripped off. What do the cops do? Oh, we'll just take a report. Your fucking neighbor's being an asshole, stealing shit from your house, stuff like that. What do the cops do? Not a goddamn thing. Your phone gets ripped off. You can use the app to find out where it is. Try that, right? The next time your phone gets ripped off, go to the police, and you have like the iPhone locate my device thing. Go to the police officer and be like, hey, my phone is at this address. Can we go get it? Watch what they do. You know what they're going to tell you to do? We don't have enough evidence. That's what they're going to say. And you're going to be like, hey, I got it right fucking here on the app. And they're going to be like, sorry, there's nothing we can do. You know why? Because they don't care. They don't give a shit. That's why. Because police are there to basically protect capital. If you had $1 million and somebody broke in and stole a bunch of your shit, they'd be there in a nanosecond. If you owned a store or something like that, if you're like greasing the palms of your city politicians, hanging out with the mayor and making donations to the city council, stuff like that, oh, you'll see how fast a fucking investigation gets started. It's sad, and it shouldn't be like that. And that is really, I mean, I don't know, is every society like this on Earth, everywhere? Is there any place on Earth where you can actually trust the police officers to do their job, where they won't kill you if you like ask them for help? Is there any place like that out here? Because that, more than anything, you talk about how like I'm rambling here, but I'm gonna wrap it up because, you know, fuck it. But one last little thing here. You know, we all talk about how the country's going down the tubes and we're on the verge of collapse. It's late stage capitalism, blah, 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 blah. Right? Western civilization is on its last legs. You hear all this sort of doomerism whenever you see stories like this, right? And, you know, it's like, oh, it's the environment, or it's because of fucking the politicians are fucked up, or the Republicans are they're fucking up the Senate, whatever, blah, 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 shit like that. I think really the biggest indicator that our society is failing is the fact that when you need help, the people that we set aside specifically to help you don't do it. That's what I think is the number, well, if not the number one of the big indicators that our dysfunctional society is on the verge of collapsing like this. The corruption in our government and in our police forces is just out of fucking control. And when people don't trust them, when people don't trust these institutions, then people will do whatever it takes to get change. They'll vote for things like fascists, right? Because people get desperate. Desperate people do desperate things, and they go, well, hey, maybe this guy can fucking like fix the fucking cops and make like the trains run on time and all this other stuff, and actually like make things work the way they're supposed to work. And so then they'll vote for some like Cheeto-ridden, orange-haired fucking baboon, thinking that he's gonna actually do something to try to fix shit, and it's just gonna get 10 times fucking worse. So, I don't know, man. America is fucked up. Hello folks, if you like what I do and you want to support the channel, please consider buying something from my Etsy shop, supporting me on Patreon, liking and subscribing, and checking me out across my social media links listed below. Thank you all so much, and see you next time.